talk about why is a lot of that audience female?
Because oftentimes it's people who have gone to school and got a certification in social work or in case management, or nurses that are RNs that have transitioned to the case management side of nursing. In the doctor's offices, it's a PA or an MA that field the calls from the sales reps that come by, and they're mostly women. So the healthcare profession, I'd say, and I don't know what the mix is for the doctors, but I'd say a good portion of people that are in the healthcare service arena are women.
Yeah. And that is true throughout the country. And it's interesting to bring up this topic, that we have had franchise partners that come into this and they've done sales at a very high level, or kind of like an executive, and they make an appointment with somebody, they show up, and when they show up, they're already expected. And we've had folks come into this, and Jonathan, when you were training, you'd see this all the time, where depending on your ego, if you have a big ego and you can't be a servant leader, that relationship can be very difficult, because you have a female nurse who is very knowledgeable, who is in a lot of control, and they have to have control, and they want their patients to be safe, and so they're not just going to trust you right away, right? That's a lot of responsibility that they have. And I have seen owners come in where that is a difficult task to build that relationship. So you have to train a lot to that. Yeah.
When I was helping with the training, there were folks that had a successful career in corporate America and were used to selling to the C-suites. And that was one of the things that I taught, man, like, hey, you can go to the C-suite, but the boots on the ground dealing with the patients and the clients on a day-to-day basis are people that, are making sure that they're safely discharged. They're making sure that they're caring for the whole being to make sure that home health is set up when they discharge. Do you need home care? Do you need hospice? They're not the people in the C-suites. So you got to get accustomed to making friends with those people who are, rubbing elbows with the patients as they're discharging. It's a different type of sale.
It's a different type of sale. And it's not and we talk about the fact that is the sale to the referral source. And now talk about what is the sale like where the referral source then puts you in front of the Jones family, the Smith family, the Patel family. And now you're in front of that family. It's chaos. They don't know what they're going to do with dad. What is that sale like?
So this is what I teach. When I meet with a family, we are not there to sell them anything.
Right.
The only thing that we're selling to that family, and this is genuine, of course, is that we care, right? There's many people that we meet with that we do not end up caring for, but we point them in the right direction to a resource, or we've even referred people to other agencies.
Yes.
If we could not do an adequate job. But you have to be in this business to thrive and to build a big organization for the right reason. And the right reason is we're all going to be senior citizens one day, and we're all going to need some help. We're all going to need someone to advocate for us and point us in the right direction and not take advantage of us just to build their business. And when you're in that for the right reason, and that's your heart in the business, then you do good.
That is so true.
You know what, Marcos? One point. It's funny because Jonathan and I had this conversation probably just a couple days ago. I was meeting with a family, and this family was meeting with maybe 3 other agencies, and Jonathan, we got the case. And, I was like, I couldn't believe we got the case. And he was like, why couldn't you believe that? And, that's one of the things we talked about. We said, for one, we don't sell anything. There's nothing to sell, right? We make sure we go in and we treat everyone and we advise everyone as if they were our own grandparents. And I think that, that's important is because we don't come off as salesy. Because we genuinely just, advise straight from our hearts.
Yeah. And I love that message, right? Because the family doesn't need somebody to convince them of anything. family just needs direction. I mean, the dad needs caregiving no matter what, right? We're not there to sell that topic. We're there to figure out what's the best thing for them. I love that. So now, the other part of this business I think is really interesting for people to understand is you now have the caregiving side, which is hiring, coaching, and loving those caregivers. And it's funny because, and Jonathan, you remember when you were there with us and we're talking to entrepreneurs who are interested in this business, a lot of times we talk to them about the fact that, listen, you understand, you are starting a staffing recruiting business. You're going to be hiring people every week of the rest of your lives. Like every week, you're going to have people coming in for interviews. You're going to have people not show up. You're going to have to replenish those caregivers. So can you talk about that relationship that we have with hiring these wonderful caregivers, the thousands of caregivers you guys have hired since 2014? What is that relationship like? What is that side of the business like? And I don't know if, Cherie, I know that's probably more of your side of the business. What is that like?
I will say this. One thing that is really important for me is that I meet every single one of our caregivers. When it comes to orientation, I even do part of that orientation because I want to get to know them. It's important for me to get to know them because I'm also meeting with families. As I'm meeting with families, these caregivers are running through my head of who I realize, oh my gosh, I can put so-and-so here. It really helps me to be able to express to that family, like, oh my gosh, I have someone for you, right? Because I've met every single caregiver. And that's really, really important to me.
Yeah. And so, you guys, how many caregivers do you have on staff today?
Currently, I would say almost 120. And here's one thing that's amazing. Over 50% of our caregivers have been with us for over 3 years.
What?
Yes. I have caregivers I have 2 that have been with us for 10 years, a handful, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 50% have been with us for over 3 years.
That is incredible and honestly unusual.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you, how?
I like I said, I think it's just the relationships and the connections that we make with each and every one of them. I can call a caregiver. I called one of my caregivers yesterday. She's been with us for 5 years and she answered the phone. Hi, Miss Cherie. Like she just knew it was me.
No way.
Yeah. So, for me, that's what it is just connecting with every single one of them.
Wow, that is truly amazing. So you now are a family-run business. You guys are there together running this, and you've grown tremendously through these last 10. Has it been almost 10 years? Wow, almost 10 years. That is crazy. Do you think the kids are going to join in the business?
Well, so our son actually joined us this past December.
No way.
It was funny because, yeah, we were in a situation like it just seems like things happen so fast. He's graduated. He has his master's degree. He's working from home. And we were just at a point to where like, we need help. I called him and I said, get on a plane and get here.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he actually just joined us in late December.
Man, that is exciting. That is so cool. What is he doing?
So currently he's office admin. He's handling a lot of the compliance, especially with the state of California. You got to make sure all that is intact. He helps me tremendously with billing as well. And he's actually going to be transitioning here pretty soon to managing. We're going to be helping with staffing in communities on the IL side. So he's going to head that department up. Man,
that is really, really exciting. Okay, so you guys have seen this company from its very beginning. You know the founders intimately. If you have somebody who's listening to this the only reason they're really listening to this is they're trying to make a decision if they should acquire an Amada franchise, right? And I'm not saying this for a plug. What I'd really like to hear from you guys is, what advice can you give somebody who is looking to acquire an Amada senior care business? What should they be thinking about? What questions should they ask? What's your advice? Let me start with Cherie. You go first, and then Jonathan. What's your biggest advice for somebody looking at this business?
To be honest with you, for me, I don't look at it as a money maker, right? Now, you can make good money, but that's not the first thing that's in my mind. It's more so of, how many people can I help? How many more people can I help? If you look at it that way, they're going to come. And so for me, I think, don't look at it more so of dollar signs. Look at it more so of, how many people can I help?
I love that. Okay, Jonathan.
And to echo those sentiments, look into getting involved with Amada for the right reason. Obviously, you can be successful and generate revenue for your business, for your family, when you get in and do a good job, but it needs to be for the right reason. It can't be because, the baby boomers are aging daily and there's more people that need help. Of course, that's a part of the decision that you make. But the right reason is what Cherie said. There are going to be more people that need help, and there are going to be more people that need an agency that is caring, where the owners are involved, and, you can trust your family member to be under the guidance and the care of this agency. I'd say that's the reason to get into this business.
Okay, so the other thing that I think is interesting about you too is that when you started this business, you already knew the business. You could have just gone and opened Burroughs Home Care. And mind you, this is back in 2014, where our support structure was very different from what it is today, right? There's a lot more structure, but you also had this interesting connection with the founders who were right there on the streets with you. But why did you decide to go the franchise route as opposed to just creating Burroughs Home Care?
Well, the relationship with Chad and Tafa, and being there from the very beginning of the founding of Amada Senior Care, and just knowing the character of Chad and Tafa, and knowing that this is a mission for them, but also a ministry. Knowing that they're two big teddy bears, man. And I consider them my brothers too. And obviously everyone else can't necessarily say that. But just knowing that they're in it for the right reason as well, to provide care for seniors and to provide jobs for the community as well. So just knowing those guys intimately, helps to make that an easy decision for us. It's a tough business in the fact that as an owner, I think the best agencies are the ones that have the owners involved in the day-to-day business. I don't think it's something that you should look at. Hey, I got some money that I want to invest and I want to get a home care agency and have somebody run it. Yeah, that could work, but you're the most successful when you're involved as an owner.
For me, operationally, I like the fact that I don't feel like I'm on an island. I don't have to know all of the answers. I can call my franchise business advisor and I know he's going to answer the phone, or if he's not, he's going to call me right back. That's that support that I have, because every day something different comes up. Times are changing. People's needs are changing. COVID changed a lot for a lot of people as well with how we do business, right? It's comforting for me knowing that I don't have to figure it all out on my own. I can just pick up that phone and say, hey, what do I do? And I know that someone's going to guide me through those decisions.
And as long as we've been around too, we still need support.
We still need. I had to call mine twice this week.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. Hey, the other thing I just remembered as you guys were talking about support and how much support you receive, the truth is you guys give that right back. There are so many franchise partners who name you too as amazing mentors, where you've taken so many people throughout the country under your wings. and given without any request of anything back. I mean, there's dozens of people who would say that. Not only that, we awarded the southern part of San Diego to the Budhansing family. And I'll tell you, Jonathan, it is I don't know that I've ever seen anyone. I mean, it happens, but you took them under your wings. There were areas there where you had referral sources that you introduced him to. You drove in the car with him. You supported him and got him going. I mean, it was just amazing how much time you gave to this guy who came in just south of you, right? And they could have been like, oh, well, wait a minute, that I don't want anybody to be my neighbor, and so I'm super thankful for that. And they are now with you guys going to awards trips. They're doing very well. They've been able to crack what I think was potentially a difficult market where they are. And I think a lot of that is their hard work, but a lot of it is also the love and support you guys provided, which is something I'll never forget.
Yeah,
you can definitely do more as a united front than to be divided. And, being from the team environment, the best of my character comes out when I work together as a team. So that was easy. And they're great people too. If they had been a-holes, it would have been tough, but they're really good people. They're really nice people, sincere about what it is that they do, care about their clients, and also care about the caregivers and their employees as well. So it's been successful, and we've grown together. They refer clients to us all the time, and we refer clients to them all the time.
And vice versa with caregivers as well. We can't use the caregiver, we give them to them. If they can't, they'll give them to us. They just gave us one this week. Actually, they said, you know what? They live closer to your territory. You take them. And I think that's what makes our relationship work so well. And I really do appreciate John and Melissa. We call each other all the time. Especially, if we just want to vent.
Yeah. Just have somebody to talk to. Exactly.
So I appreciate them for that.
That's great. Hey guys, I've kept you for a long time. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Can't thank you enough. It's been a long history, and I appreciate you guys and your family. We're so lucky to know you guys and to have you as part of as Amada Senior Care. Thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for having us.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of We Are Amada. If you want more information about Amada Senior Care, just go into your inbox. I'm sure you've got an email from any one of us, or go to amadaseniorcare.com/franchise.